Disclaimer. All information is directly pulled from the most current listings of United States codes at the time of uploading. No person should take the information or interpretations presented here as legal advice, or advice of any kind. All legal research or request for legal interpretations should be done individually, as all information presented can be changed at any moment. United States Code Title II, the Congress. Chapter 5, Library of Congress. Section 142L, Disbursing Officer of Library of Congress, Disbursements for Office of Congressional Workplace Rights, Voucher Certifications, Accountability and Relief by Comptroller General. Paragraph 1. The text reads: From and after October 1, 1996, the disbursing officer of the Library of Congress is authorized to disburse funds appropriated for the Office of Compliance. 1. And the Library of Congress shall provide financial management support to the Office of Compliance 1 as may be required and mutually agreed to by the Librarian of Congress and the Executive Director of the Office of Compliance. 1. The Library of Congress is further authorized to compute and disburse the basic pay of all personnel of the Office of Compliance 1 pursuant to the provisions of Section 5504 of Title V. This means, as of January 1, 1976, the officer performing the disbursing officer duties will also include moving money from the Office of Compliance. The Library of Congress is also responsible for Office of Compliance financial management support, including paying the personnel of the Budget Office in accordance with Title V, Section 5504. Paragraph 2. Part 1. The text reads: All vouchers certified for payment by duly authorized certifying officers of the Library of Congress shall be supported with a certification by an officer or employee of the Office of Compliance duly authorized in writing by the Director of the Office of Compliance to certify payments from appropriations of the Office of Compliance. The Office of Compliance certifying officers shall. This means, any vouchers made by the Library of Congress will be supported by the Office of Compliance through certification of vouchers. Paragraph 2. Part 2. The text reads: 1. Be held responsible for the existence and correctness of the facts recited in the certificate or otherwise stated on the voucher or its supporting paper and the legality of the proposed payment under the appropriation or fund involved. 2. Be held responsible and accountable for the correctness of the computations of certifications made, and 3. Be held accountable for and required to make good to the United States the amount of any illegal, improper, or incorrect payment resulting from any false, inaccurate, or misleading certificate made by him, as well as for any payment prohibited by law which did not represent a legal obligation under the appropriation or fund involved. This means, those certifying officers will be held responsible for the following: legality and accuracy of payments on vouchers, accuracy of the computations made on vouchers, paying back the U.S. government for false, illegal, or incorrect voucher payments. Paragraph 2. Part 3. The text reads: Provided that the Comptroller General of the United States may, at his discretion, relieve such certifying officer or employee of liability for any payment otherwise proper whenever he finds, 1. That the certification was based on official records and that such certifying officer or employee did not know, and by reasonable diligence and inquiry could not have ascertained the actual facts, or 2. That the obligation was incurred in good faith, that the payment was not contrary to any statutory provision specifically prohibiting payments of the character involved, and the United States has received value for such payment. This means, the Comptroller General can remove the liability these employees have for voucher if they find any of the following. If the employee could not have reasonably known it was incorrect even after a thorough investigation. If the transaction details were legitimate and in good standing and the United States has been given payment of some other form of the same value. Paragraph 2. Part 4. The text reads: Provided further, that the Comptroller General shall relieve such certifying officer or employee of liability for an overpayment for transportation services made to any common carrier covered by Section 3726 of Title 31, whenever he finds that the overpayment occurred solely because the administrative examination made prior to payment of the transportation bill did not include a verification of transportation rates, freight classifications, or land grant deductions. This means the Comptroller General can also remove the liability of these employees for paying too much in transportation fees, as long as they are from a covered carrier as stated in United States Code Title 31, Section 3726. This release of liability can be made if the first step of administrative examination of the transport bill was done prior to the payment and could not have seen transportation rates, freight classes, or land grant deductions. Paragraph 3. The text reads: The disbursing officer of the Library of Congress shall not be held accountable or responsible for any illegal, improper, or incorrect payment resulting from any false, inaccurate, or misleading certificate, the responsibility for which is imposed upon a certifying officer or employee of the Office of Compliance. This means the officer of the Library of Congress is not responsible for false, illegal, or inaccurate vouchers certified by the Office of Compliance's certifying officers. I am not a lawyer, a politician, a representative of the United States government, or an expert in any field related to any of the information being presented here. I am merely a concerned citizen hoping to bring the rules that dictate our country to light in an easier to understand fashion than is being presented to us currently. Thank you. Please go to the Office of the Law Revision Council for a complete list of up-to-date versions of United States codes. The link is in the description below. https://uscode.house.gov. Please like and subscribe for more releases and updates.